Welcome back. In this video we are going to add the delete feature. So you can see here swiping our list element to the left allows us to delete it. So let's do that and you can see it's gone. So this is something that I think would make sense as a little challenge. So please try to implement that, and of course you will need to have another swipe to so-and-so callback. So it would make sense to copy this class pretty much and change its name to swipe to delete callback. And then of course the direction should not be right but left, and the icon should be a different one, and maybe the color should be a different one, but everything else should pretty much stay the same. And then of course you need to implement it at the right spots. So please go ahead and try to do that. All right, so I hope you tried it. And first of all, I'm just going to make it simple for the video's purpose, and I'm just gonna copy this swipe to delete callback. And as I said, it's pretty much the same as the edit callback. So I'm going to paste it in here. And as you can see now, the difference is that it uses this IC delete with a white, which is this white icon. And of course, in order to use it, we need to change the direction here, or directory tutorial happy places.r. And now R will not complain anymore. Now let's create this IC delete white. So file, new, vector asset, and here let's use the bin, and maybe delete is the better keyword. So there we are. Okay, delete. Okay, and I'm going to use the following name like this, press next and finish. Okay, now this error disappeared, and as you can see now the item touch helper dot left is as the simple callback parameter here, or in this case it's the argument. And then the other thing that is different is the color, so I'm using this reddish color here. All right, the next thing is that we need to go to our main activity, because that's where this swiping delete feature is going to be implemented, and it's going to be pretty much the same thing as we did with this edit swipe handler. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it down here, and I'm going to call this one delete swipe handler, and going to call here swipe to delete callback. So create a new object of this, and we need to import it. Then on swipe is still gonna work, that's fine. The direction we're gonna pass is good as well. Happy place adapter as happy place adapter, notify, and here maybe we should change this to notify delete item. And then here we don't have an edit item touch helper, but the delete item touch helper. And of course here we're not using the edit swipe handler, but the delete swipe handler. Then of course, as I said here, we should get rid of the entry, and I'm going to do it here. I'm going to say adapter dot remove add, and here I'm going to pass in a view holder dot adapter position. Now you might guess that remove add is going to be a function that we created ourselves. So this notify added item is the function that we created before to make changes, to edit something, but now we actually want to remove something. So let's go to our happy place adapter, and here we're going to create a new function called remove add, and we want to remove at a specific position. All right, so here we are going to require the database handler in order to delete something in the database as well. So let's pass in the context to this database handler that we create. Then I'm going to create a new variable, which I'm going to call is deleted. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use db handler dot delete happy place at list position. Now this delete happy place of course doesn't exist as well, so I need to create it in my database handler. So you can see the structure is always the same. I'm doing it the other way around this time, but basically what you need to do is you need to have a function in your adapter which allows you to delete something, so remove something from your adapter, but then in order to delete it from the database, you need to create this in the database handler. So let's create a function in here, because here we get the happy places list, but we can also delete a happy place. So I'm going to call this one delete happy place, and I need to say which happy place I want to delete. So what I will then do is I'm going to create a writable database object, this dot writable database. And once I have this writable database, I can go ahead and use the delete function. So I'm just going to store that in a variable called success, which will be the success of the delete functionality here. I can say which table I want to use to delete something, or in which table I want to delete something, and then the where clause. And I want to say, please delete it where the key underscore ID is equal to our happy place dot ID. And of course we need a bunch of pluses here in between, because I'm using string concatenation here. Okay. All right, so then we also need to pass in the where argument, and I'm just going to pass null here. Okay, so this is the delete functionality. So db delete in order to delete something from the database, and then we can go ahead and say db close, return success. So as you can see, we of course need to return an integer here. So here, return int. All right, so this will delete it in the database. Then this will remove it in the adapter. And here, of course, we still need to finish this, because we need to check now if is deleted is greater than 0. We know that everything worked out. So then we can go ahead and remove it at the position. And then we need to notify our adapter about item being deleted. So notify item removed at position. Okay, so remove at is a function that we create ourselves in our happy place adapter. But the list that we get is a array list, which also has this function called remove at. So we're deleting it from the array list here, and we're notifying our adapter about an item being removed. So it will reload the whole recycler view, and the list will be updated, so to speak. All right. At that point, there's one thing left to do, and that is in our main activity, we should finally get the happy place list from local database. So that is the function that we created ourselves, which is this one here, private function, which is in the main activity, which gets all of the entries in our database. So what we're saying, okay, please check the database once again. And that's what's happening here. And then it will, of course, populate the database with the current list. So let's say it's empty. Well, then, of course, we want to display our text view, which says no records available, as you might recall. All right, so let's test that. Let's see if it's actually going to work. So that we have all our test entries, and well, editing seems to still work. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's delete. And as you can see, it's deleting them from our list. All right, so that seems to work. And as you can also see, no happy places found yet. Kindly add one. All right, so let's restart our application just to see if it actually is gone. So if it's actually empty. And as you can see, it's still empty. So now let's add an entry here. Test1. And the location is also going to be test1. Now let's select the photo from the gallery. And let's save it. And there we are. All right, so now we have a edit and a delete feature, both with a swipe gesture. So that is pretty cool. And I think now it's time to go ahead and add the really new and really cool stuff. But overall, I hope you were able to implement all of this functionality and get it done by yourself. If not, no worries. You still have some time to learn even more from the course, but at one point you really need to really get through it. Just try to get things done by yourself, because that's when you really learn. And when you have challenges, that's exactly the spot where I want you to have, where you are challenged by whatever you're trying to do. So thanks a lot for being part of this class, and yeah, let's go to the next video. See you there.